Have you ever met someone and felt like you have definitely met them before? I had a dream in 2021 that truly I did not understand. Years later, I realized that dream had introduced me to someone that is now in my life. Sometimes dreams don't just show you symbols, they show you people before they actually arrive in your life. I am going to dive into these dreams immediately today because the way they weave together is very intricate. But before I do that, I want to talk to those that are new here. My name is Nicole, and I am telling you that your dreams are decoding your future. And I am passionate about helping people learn the symbols in their dreams so they can begin to decode what they're already receiving in their dream life. So if you like this conversation, please hit the like button and subscribe. That way you know when new videos come out. The first dream was September 17th, 2021. I was in the backyard of my home, and that was connected to all other homes like apartments. I was transplanting a dead cherry tomato plant and a dead pear plant into a new pot because I felt with the soil I had on hand, I could bring them back to life. I wasn't sure it would work because I needed two different pear trees for the pears to produce, and I only had one. I was willing to try, however, and the tomato plant already had a few grape tomatoes. And I popped one in my mouth, and it was delicious. Rachel was throwing away a box for me, and instead of putting it in our trash bin, she threw it up in the air and it landed 3 houses down. I told her she could put it in our bin. All of this happened as Rachel was running, and she went to go retrieve the box. Then my neighbor's daughter, Caprice, drove up with her new boyfriend, and I recognized him but couldn't place him. His life goal was for yoga, but he's in real estate for now, he said as he came to sit at the table on our back porch. I continued to replant the plants while we talked. I encouraged him and asked him if he'd gotten a 1099 unemployment, which he did, and I briefly worried I'd been the only realtor to miss that. I talked about how yoga people were our best customers for Smirk ice cream, and he agreed emphatically that ice cream was exactly what yoga people loved. Okay. Can you see why in 2021 I'm like, I have no idea what this means, other than I know who Caprice is, and at the time I think she did have a new boyfriend. I tried to understand what this meant. I understood that it felt significant because the vividness of the dream, but I put it aside, as I do, right? Write it down. Don't understand it, put it aside until 2021. And this is where it gets so good. Let me break down these portions. Okay. I was in my backyard of my home, and that was connected to all the other homes like apartments. What this is essentially saying is that apartment is me, and I'm connected to the other apartments. So this is like community. It's grounding me that this dream is about community, which you're really going to see as we interpret it. Next, I was transplanting a dead cherry tomato plant and a dead pear plant into a new pot because I felt that the soil I had on hand could bring them back to life. All this to say, this part is not actually fully understood yet. What I do understand in the symbolism and have my eyes peeled for is that it's two hearts. It's two hearts that are dead in some capacity, that I feel like I have good soil. You heard that metaphor, like putting something in good soil so it'll grow. And even though they're two completely opposite people, if I put them in the good soil, maybe they'll grow. That is still yet to be seen, what that means. Let's go on. Caprice drove up with her new boyfriend, and I recognized him but couldn't place him. His life goal was for yoga. This is important. Pay attention to the yoga, but he's in real estate for now. Pay attention to that real estate part. He said this as he came down to sit at the table on our back porch. This is what broke the dream open. Now, he came in to the back of my house. He's sitting on my back patio, sitting down at my back patio chair. This in dream language is coming into personal space. The front of your home is forward facing. It is public view. The back of your home oftentimes is more secluded. You invite people in to the back of your home. Hopefully, they're just not showing up uninvited. So it's a place of greater intimacy. Now, here's what happened. Brief story. I am at church. I am with a friend named Peggy. She is going to be important later in the next dream I show you. So pay it, remember Peggy, put that in the back of your mind. This is in reality. This is not the dream. Then Mark, he's the pastor. He brings us this man named Dave. He wants to introduce to us. So we start chatting. Peggy has to leave. Just keep her in the back of your mind. She has to leave. And Dave and I keep talking. And we talk, a good 30 minutes until my kids are dragging me out of the place because we just connected so well. Next, fast forward to that evening, I get a Facebook message from Dave. He wants to connect further. Well, look, I didn't know him, right? So I'm like, okay, this guy I just met today was a great conversation, but I don't know him. And here's what I do when I don't know someone. I just start like Facebook stalking someone. I look and I make sure they're not weird, and it's safety. So I'm doing that, and here's what I come across. Now, Dave had mentioned that he has a business that he's going to expand, and he's a realtor, and we had kind of connected that way. We're actually at this point Facebook talking back and forth. Next, I go to his business, right? I click on it. I am reading through, I guess what you would call like the mission statement for his health med spa. Now, keep in mind, this 2021 dream I had read recently and had just tried to figure out what yoga meant. I had looked at the Google definition for yoga, which is bringing the mind, the body, and the soul together. Now, I pull up Dave's mission statement for his health med spa, and I swear to you, it goes through and talks about bringing together the mind, the body, the soul. And this dream from 21 comes flooding back to me because here's two keys. Did you catch it in that dream? When this man comes back into my home, he is in real estate. So Dave is truly, we're now partners in this. He is truly in real estate, in real life, but his goal, his passion, his heart is this health med spa that he has. They have 2 locations, and that is really where he wants to focus. Well, what did the dream tell me? The dream told me that this man is in real estate, but really loves yoga, is really there for the yoga. This connection exploded in my head. Sometimes you just know when you study dreams and enough of those symbols begin to hit in reality. Remember, feelings hit in reality. I knew that the man in my dream from 2021 is this guy, Dave. Okay, so now I'm comfortable to move forward. He and I get together. We talk over lunch for hours. And it's a great connection, which makes sense. Look at that dream. I take him into my backyard. I invite him into a personal space, not a public space, a personal space. So that is the community. That's the connection that we're making verbally. We're connecting history and stories and themes in our life. Okay, now, this is all going to make sense. Then he's like, hey, I want to take you to the health med spa. So we drive over to his med spa, and he's like, I want you to meet my very good friend, Rachel. Now, I just read you this dream, so you're remembering the name Rachel. At the time, I did not. You know, when you meet new people and they're like, hey, I want you to meet my friend. You just think of friend. You don't remember their name. So we get there. I'm looking through this med spa. It's amazing. And I meet Rachel. Now we are talking to Rachel about this dream, and it is still not clicking in my freaking head that her name is Rachel. We're talking through it, and she works with the skin. In fact, she's describing to me later, actually, she describes to me that the way I can interpret your dreams, she can interpret your skin. So we're talking through her process, and I think of this dream. Literally 2 days later from the first 2021 dream on 9/19/21, I'm going to connect this for you. This is the dream that I bring up. Do you remember Peggy from the church that Mark introduced Dave and I to? She does not live in Nashville anymore. She was only there for her book. So she and I only connected and met Dave at that time. It was the only time that could happen. Now, this second dream is about Peggy, who knows Rachel. Are you kind of getting these pieces? All of these people connected in these dreams from 21. Now, in 21, I knew Peggy, and here's how you're going to tell. Very small dream. This was September 19th, 21. I'm standing at a table with older women, and I'm telling Peggy that I use the face products she told me she uses. She says, "You do?" Like she is pleased, and I say, "Yes." Another woman says that out of all the advice I could take, taking face care product advice from older women is the wisest. I had no idea what this dream. I never even shared it with Peggy because it made no sense. I've since shared it with Peggy, and here's why. I'm telling Rachel about this dream because Rachel takes care of Peggy's skincare, and she literally jumps off the couch. She was like, "Hold on." She runs to her office. She brings out, I am not kidding you, a face cream. This is a face cream that she personally developed during COVID. 2020, 2021 timeframe that I'm having this dream. And it is the only face cream that the real Peggy has ever used on her skin. You best believe I took that face cream home and I use it to this day. Have you ever, can you even imagine beginning a face care routine because of a dream you had 4 years earlier? But this stuff is uncanny. That was not a coincidence. And I was not going anywhere without that face cream. I use it every day now. Okay. That's just a funny connection with Peggy and Rachel. Now, we're just marveling. We're marveling over how the first dream connected me to Dave and the second dream connected me to Peggy and now Rachel. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. I was like, but remind me what your name is again. And she's like, oh yeah, it's Rachel. And boom, I was like, you are kidding me. Now, these people are currently specifically and intentionally in my life because let me put it this way. I don't have all the answers. Now, Dave and I work together now. Rachel and I are going to start working together. And I've known Peggy forever, but I have a lot of people in my life. I have a lot of relationships that are important to me in my life. I don't take on new relationships casually. Let me put it that way, because I just don't have the bandwidth in my life for it. I love a lot of people. I will see a lot of people. I will connect with them when that happens. But intentional time is something that is spare for me. However, when you show up in a dream of mine and 4 years later, then show up in my life in those exact circumstances, I'm going to make time for you. And this, I know I say this a lot, but it bears repeating. This is why cataloging your dreams matter. This is a dream. These are two dreams from September 2021 that came true in 2025, 4 years later, that created relationships that there's no telling where these relationships will go. There's no telling where these connections will go because dreams aren't random. It's not happenstance that symbolism in my dreams led me to Dave and to Rachel today. And therefore, I am intentional about cultivating those relationships and excited to see where those relationships are going to take all three of us later. Let me encourage you. If you have not been cataloging your dreams, start now. I am not someone special. These dreams are happening in your life too. The problem is you don't pay attention to them. Let's be honest. When you start to pay attention, even to the smallest little snippet of a dream, you take the time to write it down, remember it, put it aside, ponder it, I guarantee you're going to start dreaming more and more and more. And that's going to start guiding your perception of reality more and more and more. And I promise you, if you take the time to steward your dreams, you will not regret it. If you made it all the way through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel is only here because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, have a free community for that. See the link below.